This video is brought to you by my two books, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and The Blues Guitar Bible. Want to learn about modes, harmony, scales, chord substitution and keys? Or maybe you're interested in supercharging your blues guitar rhythm and lead chops. Whatever you're interested in, I guarantee you will be hitting the fast lane to progress with either of these works. Both feature video demonstrations and tutorials, loads of tabs and jam tracks to play along with, and I promise you, everything is explained in crystal clear plain English. Check out the links in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now then, let's talk about Bryan Adams. Some people like him, and for others he's not really their cup of tea. And in fairness, he does sort of embody that strand of commercial pop rock that fell out of favour, I guess, round about the early 90s when the Seattle boys turned up and went all grungy. But I've got to tell you, for me, there's one particular album, and it's this one here, which else, frankly, that has a lot of happy memories for me. This came out while I was at college, and I remember seeing him doing a live performance on a TV show we used to have back in the UK, then called The Tube, and yeah, really impressed. That was the first time I'd heard of Bryan Adams, and it was the first time I'd encountered his music. And he did Run to You, which was a single that had just been released, but that didn't have a guitar solo. And he did, I think, Summer of '69, again, which was another single off that album, but once again didn't have a guitar solo. But I enjoyed the two tracks, the two singles, enough that I went out and bought the album. And the first track on the album is called One Night Love Affair, and that does have a solo. It goes a bit like this. And as you do, back in the day when you bought an album on vinyl, you look at the credits and everything, and I found that the guitar solos, the lead guitar parts in Bryan Adams' music was played by a chap called Keith Scott. And, you know, I've always felt, even though I haven't really followed Bryan's career, because, you know, frankly, this album is the only one you really need, but I've always liked Keith Scott's guitar playing. He's tasteful and melodic with just enough kind of rock swagger about the way that he plays to make it interesting. So I thought it was high time I did another one of his solos in this Monday solo analysis slot. So here's a little bit of an explanation about what's going on in the solo.
Solo explanation.
Okay, so beginning as always by taking a look at the chords the solo is played over. And that is pretty much, well, it isn't pretty much, it is the verse chord sequence for the song. It's all in the key of B major. We're using the 1 chord, the B, the 4 chord, the E, the 6 chord, G sharp minor, and the 5 chord, the F sharp. All those chords are, as I say, in the key of B major, and then we modulate to the key of D major for the beginning of the chorus, which is in keeping with what happens between the verse and the chorus. As I say, the guitar solo is just the verse chord sequence. The note choices in the solo are entirely the B major scale, which has the notes of B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and B, in various octaves and positions that we'll look at. So we start with this little motif here, which goes like that. So we're playing the B, the C sharp, slide the D sharp up to the E, back to the D sharp, and resolve onto the B note. Now, I often talk in these videos about the importance of landing on chord tones, and he's doing that here. He's clearly resolving to the B note over the B chord, but he doesn't go there straight away on beat 1 of the bar. He actually goes to the E note before resolving down to that pair of notes there, the D sharp and the B. You can actually see those two notes are in a B chord. The E note isn't in the B chord. It's in the overall B major scale, as we've discussed, but it's not in the B chord. A B chord is the notes of B, D sharp, and F sharp, and the E note is what we call a neighbour tone, or sometimes called an appoggiatura. Basically a note that doesn't sound resolved, that makes the arrival of the note that does sound resolved sound all the sweeter for it. So we play that little motif twice. Excuse me there. So we play that twice, and then on the third time we play a variation. And again, this is the point where we're resolving here. This F sharp note here is, this C sharp note here, I beg your pardon, is here, and you can see that's also a note from the F sharp chord that's arrived by that moment. We also get this little resolution point here, this B note, which is in the G sharp minor chord that comes before the F sharp. And the next lick injects a little bit of bluesiness, because what we do is we bring in the D natural note here. Now, what's happening here is essentially, if we were to think in terms of a bluesy way of playing, we're in B major here. In a blues setting, you would tend to play a B minor tonality over the top of that. There's a B major chord, and play a B minor over the top of that, like that, and we get that kind of bluesy sound. So he's actually doing this here by bending the C sharp note, which is in the scale, up to the D note, which isn't. It just adds a little bit of bluesy tension. At that particular moment in the solo, we're playing over the E major chord, which, if you add the D note into that chord, you get like a bluesy E7 kind of sound. So either way you stack it up, it's adding a little bit of bluesiness to proceedings. So that takes us to the end of the first part of the solo, and then we just go back into a more regular B major scale kind of thing. Okay, playing the B, C sharp, D sharp. The B and the D sharp are the root and third of the B major chord, and then we resolve onto the G sharp note down here, which is the major third of the E chord that we've arrived at. Play that little phrase twice. And then just kind of hanging onto that B note there over the B chord, which obviously contains a B note, and the G sharp minor, which contains the B note as well. Once again, you can see that we're adding a note which is not from the chord, the C sharp note, via this bend. Okay, we're adding that note which isn't resolving, which makes the arrival of the note which does resolve even more sweet for the for the sake of the delay of getting there. As I say, it's called a neighbour tone or an appoggiatura. Then we're into the sort of the climactic part of the solo, where we just do this little run down the B major scale from the B via the A sharp, G sharp, F sharp, so you get, and then we do it a third time, but instead of coming to the F sharp down here, we move it up an octave. Actually, we do go there, and then go to the F sharp up here, and then bend and resolve down onto the unbent F sharp. So taking it up to a G sharp like that, and resolving down onto the F sharp there, which is when the D chord arrives. And as we know, a D chord has that F sharp note in it. So here's a brief sort of slightly slow-mo walk through the solo. Lovely melodic solo. I would say probably something that was mapped out in advance, but still, I saw Bryan Adams live in about 2002, and he played this song, and the solo was basically the same as this, but with some improv little parts in it as well. So there's scope to add your own personality to it once you've got the basics of it down. So now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for the solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've just seen there, and a backing track for you to play along with yourself. All of that is, as usual, up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. You know all this by now, but I'm obliged to say it. $3 or roughly £3 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. And of course, a massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are down in the description, including the higher level of Patreon membership, where you get all that stuff, but you also get a twice monthly hangout with me and the other tier 2 supporters, as well as some extra video content that I put up on there as well on the Patreon platform. So massive thanks to anybody who signed up for that, or as I say, any of the ways down in the description which help me keep the lights on around here. And that is very much the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it and found it useful and informative in some small way, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. And don't forget the live stream every Friday 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk about music and guitars and stuff like that, and other things as well. It's basically beer and chat on a Friday. What's not to like about that? It's a fantastic, I think, way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.